The Freedom from Religion Foundation uncovered an amazing story coming out of a school district in North Carolina. It turns out they're exploiting a clever loophole to basically turn their schools into Christian madrasas. So, what did they do exactly? Well, they have a Bible class, again, public school, tax-funded school, okay? They have a Bible class, but to get around that pesky keep religion out of the government thing, number one, it's an elective course, so they don't force the kids to take it, and then they turn around and go, oh, what do you mean? We're not violating anything. It's an elective course. They could choose. They don't have to take it if they don't want to take it. Now, why is that incredibly misleading? Well, the article explains that they actually pick the young people and the people who they think they can more brainwash to do this in the first place. So you're picking. If you're picking, it's not really an elective, is it? And then also, parents, they might just have this general feeling of, well, sure, I'd like my kid to have some religious instruction, and they don't think twice about the exact kind of religious instruction and that this violates separation of church and state and that they don't know what they're getting their kids into fully, because when I tell you the details of the course, you're going to go, oh my goodness, this is insanity. Okay, so thing number one is it's elective, and then also it's funded by private churches. So we're talking a really clever move here. So think about this. It's a Bible class teaching history on public school grounds during public school hours, but since the funding is from churches and it's an elective course, they think it's okay. I'll say it again, man. Usually when we talk about these kinds of people, they're blithering idiots. This is somewhat clever how they set it up to try to skirt the law and the Constitution. And what this comes down to is it's the old letter of the law versus the spirit of the law problem. So does this violate the spirit of separation of church and state? Absolutely, without question, it clearly does. But does it violate to the letter of the law? You can make a case no. You can make a case no. So what are kids learning in this class? Quote, one of the course instructors presented the 7-day creation story and others as literal fact. In schools in America today, public schools, they're teaching some kids that creationism is literal fact. The teacher also told students that the universe was created with a plan and that the Bible predicted scientific discoveries. Okay, every one of those things. Totally false. I don't even know. I don't even need to tell you that. You know. So the fart noise was overkill, but it was fun. But no, this is... Okay. This can't stand. This is not okay. Again, I'm giving them credit for being clever and how they're working around that whole pesky separation of church and state thing. But if I'm a judge, I'm stepping in. If I'm a public official, I'm stepping in and I'm going, what are you, fucking crazy? Look at what you're doing here. Now, another aspect to this is, isn't it stunning that conservatives and Christians always talk about liberals like, they want to do propaganda and indoctrination and steal the kids. In fact, there was a story we did recently, I think it was just last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, where school districts in Colorado, they redid the textbooks because some conservatives got onto the board over there, and they redid the textbooks to have a bias towards conservatism. And the entire time they were bitching and moaning and crying like, goddamn liberals! These liberals are the ones who keep trying to indoctrinate our kids. Anyway, can we work on our indoctrination now? I want to indoctrinate them with our shit, not their shit. Now, what's the reality? Of course, the liberals aren't indoctrinating. Liberals are just giving the objective history of the United States and talking about, like, for example, what did the conservatives object to? Don't you reference the Native American genocide. But it happened. Don't reference slavery. But it happened. Don't reference disagreeing with authority. But the civil rights movement, which is arguably one of the most important things in American history, definitely one of the most important things in American history, that was civil disobedience. They looked at laws that were dumb and said, we disagree. No, you have to listen to authority. So everything they bitch about is what they do. Liberals are indoctrinating the kids. Oh my God, the new Black Panthers are getting a hold of your kids and they're teaching them all these things about America being terrible. Anyway, come into my creation class where I'll tell you about how Jesus created everything 6,000 years ago. No, this is terrible, man. And people wonder why we call them the Christian Taliban. The far right wonders, I'm so offended by your comparison. I don't give a fuck if you're offended by it. It's accurate. And this isn't the only area where you guys agree. You guys agree on schooling and indoctrinating kids with your particular religious view. You guys agree on abortion. You guys agree on gay rights. You guys agree on family structure, and it's the woman needs to be subservient, and this is the man's place, this is the woman's place, etc., etc. You guys agree on so many social issues. I mean, for disliking them and slamming them, as they often do, you really do agree with them on many, many things. So this is another example, man. The U.S. is slipping slowly. I was going to say slowly and slowly. That doesn't make any sense. The U.S. is slipping slowly but surely, that's what I was trying to say, into a theocracy. And it's a terrible thing to watch because guess who's going to suffer? The next generation. You know, we're not going to get the inevitable patents in science and technology and medicine and all these things. And we're not going to make all this money for these things coming up in the future because we're going to be too busy sitting there reading Deuteronomy and talking about seven-headed dragons and about how it's immoral for you to shave your face or cut your hair.